Hi, I'm Simon Rushton and this is Taxi Chronicles Podcast. On this podcast, we spontaneously interview unsuspecting passengers with their permission, allowing them to share their intimate life stories and concerns. As our slogan states, real riders, real stories. Some riders prefer to be anonymous, while others ask me to tell their story later on. Either way, there are all genuine 5 to 10 minutes stories, so sit back and enjoy this episode. Morning. Yes, we're back, another episode, another rider, another story. Today we have a lovely lady all the way from East London, actually not far from me, and she's got the history of a bit of a footballer, Westham, for those people who are interested in the football thing. And is it West Ham or East Ham? Oh, I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
West Ham, sorry. She's done a bit of acting on just before the EastEnders, and she now works in Boots, and she's very flexible in the sense of she's willing to change hours and do all these things as she will go into it. So
100%.
Great to have you here today, Ty.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's start off with who you are. Tell us a bit about yourself. We know you're working in the Boots. What's it like working in Boots at present? How have you survived the lockdown? That kind of thing.
Well, I came off furlough in about April, and went straight back into work. And it weren't the same. The atmosphere weren't the same. Nobody was the same. Everyone we used to interact with daily wasn't there. Everyone changed stores. Some people were redundant. That was quite hard going back into work after you've just gone into a ghost town, really. But other than that, it's just trying to get your head back into it and getting used to this is the new reality, and hopefully something does change in the new year and stuff.
So would you say it was an atmosphere of everybody scared to lose their job?
Yeah, very, very much so, and everyone's just restless, and I think it was just more of everyone's just come back from sitting indoors for weeks, lockdown, not what's going to happen the other week later.
I know Boots is synonymous for employing having really elderly staff.
Yeah.
Is it still like that?
Well, no, I do have a couple of colleagues that have worked in that same store I'm working at for 30 plus years, and it's nice to see, like, even when they were getting offered redundancy, they could get quite a bit of money from it, and they were just like, no, this is my livelihood. And it was nice to see that, because it was like they really respect what they're coming to work to do and stuff.
I suppose Boots as a business is probably using that opportunity to try and get rid of all the long-termers, the veterans, so they can, it's to be a place of young people.
Yeah.
But veterans take the job seriously.
Yeah, definitely. But my store's very mixed with ages, and it's nice because everyone gets along, and it's a nice atmosphere there.
But now you said they've moved you. Tell us about that.
No, I haven't been moved. Other people have been moved. Like some of my colleagues have been moved to White City and just stores all over London, really, or where it's closer to their house. There's less travel on TfL and so on. Okay,
so you were also speaking about deliveries. You're working through the nights because everybody wants to buy. The shops, go on.
No one wants to come into store because I think a lot of people think a lot of the local stores are shut, and two, it's just a way to keep us off being made redundant, and I'm very grateful for it, because now it takes us, when I first come back in, it was just like a normal day but no customer, so you're just bored out of your head. Now this is something for us to do and be productive with it, and it's quite interesting.
So you're sorting out the stock for the home delivery, basically.
Yeah, for Royal Mail, they come get it, and they all over across UK.
So is that from the branches or from like a big warehouse?
From our branches, yeah. We in our back. We have a pretty good big stock room, and it's enough space for us to load and pack the orders.
I suppose all your items are very small. It's not like you get on plasma TV.
It's the makeup items that are very popular, and the perfumes right now.
Oh, is it?
So yeah.
So that's surprising, because no one's really meant to be going anywhere.
Yeah. It's like, why you wear makeup?
Yeah, so wearing all that, unless they're doing like YouTube adverts and stuff, or vlogs and things. But
yeah, true.
It's such a lie. So you said you also you played for West Ham girls?
Yeah, under 16s. It was, but...
So how did you get into that?
It was in my secondary school. Some people from the West Ham Foundation, they used to come to our school and that. Then they would talk to us about the West Ham club. And I went to an all-girls school, so all of us, the girls that liked football, we all went together, had a good laugh, played our football like every Wednesday, and then and we would do it every Wednesday consistently for like 2 years, and we just. Yeah, it was after school, it was kind of finished, and going into 11 as well, it was like exams, everything, so you haven't really got time for as much stuff as you preferred.
Okay, so how long did that last for?
About 2-3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's some time.
Yeah.
So did you win a lot of games?
It was more of the foundation wise. It wasn't like, we had little games here and there, but it wasn't like in any leagues or anything. It was just more of that friendly one-on-ones and stuff.
So it's charity. So who were you playing? What other teams were you playing?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head right now, but it was more of like little local teams. It weren't like
like Leighton Orients and things like that.
Little just local games.
Okay.
It was fun. It was a good time.
What was the training like?
It was good, and what I liked about it was we had a male and a female coach, and it didn't divide us because he's a man, he can't teach us, you know what I'm saying? He gave us the best of both, really. And they did train us pretty good, but we could have a laugh with them. They were quite young, so we could have our banter, but while we're playing, and just it was fun.
So why did you leave?
Well, I did year 11, going into college, and then I wanted to work with kids from there. I was kind of over football. I've been playing football since I was like 2, so I was like over it by then, and still love a good kick around, but I lost interest. I was more interested in children and learning about kids with SENCO. It's like special educational needs, and in April last year, I went to live in Spain for about 3 months to work with kids, and it was with a family of they had 3 boys, 2 were twins, aged 3, and 1 was 8, and throughout the whole 3 months I was basically just with them near enough every day, doing little things, teaching them English. I didn't know a word of Spanish, so it was hard as can be, but we got there in the end. They ended up knowing more English than Spanish by the time I left.
And did you learn a lot of Spanish?
Not much. I'm dyslexic, so it's really hard for my brain just to keep it all in, and my focus is not that good.
I wouldn't, you know what it is? If you associate words with assets.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you think of, the more I learn this language, the more financially viable I become.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
because you've got to give yourself an incentive. And that would be, it's like, well, I can be doing this again. If I learn this special skills, you call them dealing with SENCO children, I think that's right, yeah?
Yeah.
Then, and I can speak Spanish, and I could be over every weekend in the sun, do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Working, earning more money, etc., and all the rest of it. So that's what that's how I would do it.
No, yeah, for sure, yeah. At that time, it was just, I didn't really have that. It was like, for me, it's like free holiday, there's a pool, there's a gym, there's just everything. But like, at that moment, it was just like, well, I'm here, like, let me make the most of it. But I never, in that, learning the language wise, my brain just wasn't letting it in.
I hear you. So, you're at uni now as well?
No, not at the moment. Well, I was at a childcare college, and it got shut down. Not through COVID, but I mean, not from COVID, but it was during COVID. And obviously, we were meant to get our results in August, and I'm actually meant to be doing 1 more year of college, but I never received my results. So ever since August, I've been on the phone to my MP and trying to get my results. To be honest, it's just been a nightmare. I just want to get my results, apply for more colleges. It's just a nightmare. I was told I've passed, but obviously that's without the examiner and all that going through it. So that's my teacher saying I passed, and that's not them saying I passed.
Yeah, you need a piece of paper to say you passed.
Your word doesn't.
Did they say what the problem is? Why it's taking so long?
No, my MP, she sounds really mad about it as well, because she's like, she don't understand why she still ain't got it, and it's just going back and forth. It's long.
So what was being in Spain for those 3 months like? And any stories of joy, horror stories? Were you doing anything adventurous?
Well, funny enough, my first 2 days, right? My second day is my first time actually looking after the boys by themselves. There was big language barrier at this time because it was just the first 2 days, and literally the mum and dad just left to go work and so on, and I'm outside playing basket with them, and they have basements. There was like a basketball hoop near the basement window, and one of the twins, obviously they're so small, he's jumped and split his head open. Okay. And I've picked him up, and as I've turned his head, there's just blood pouring across his face, and it was just such a weird experience. Just like, oh my god, like what has just happened? So I've rushed him in, pressured it, washed it now, and at this moment I'm calling their mum and dad, just like, please come, like he's hurt. But then finally the dad come, but he had a big fear of blood, so the way he was carrying the son down the road, it really made me laugh. He couldn't look at the blood, but the hospital was only behind the house, so he's like running with his son like that. It was funny, but it weren't funny, if you know what I mean.
How did the parents take it? Because you just started looking after the child.
That was in the back of my head. I'm thinking they're going to think like I'm the worst au pair ever. But they were completely cool. They come in and they were laughing. I'm like, why are you laughing? Like, is he okay? They're like, no, Tyne, are you okay? Like. And
they spoke good English?
Yeah, the mum, she has an English language school up there. So I was working there every other day, just going in, helping her. Then I'll go home. It was a good shoot. There was a lovely family, very welcoming. Like,
how old were the boys?
The twins were 3 and the older brother was 8.
So the older brother, he did the jump?
No, he didn't. He was mainly always at football and so on. I mainly literally had the twins all the time. It was mainly the twins because the older son always had after school clubs and so on.
What is Senko?
Senko is special educational needs children.
So what was wrong with them then?
It's like autism, ADHD, is just the whole spectrum of like disabilities within children. And what made me want to do it is I used to work really closely with my Senko back when I was in school because of my dyslexia, and it just really made me think like it must be so self-rewarding. Like in her head, just that I used to get so, when she helped me do something, I'd be so happy, and like me giving her a hug, I'd see how happy she would be. So for me, I just thought I want to be that happy with helping kids. I want to help kids how she's helped me. I know it sounds like the typical teacher's
no, but that's good. That's what you
story,
want.
But,
you want some. But let's forget. I've heard many stories, and I wouldn't even say that's the typical teacher. I think you need something of inspiration and a positive experience to push you towards your chosen career. It's also a way of finding out what kind of person you are.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I have companions. I have a compassion for my fellow man, but I wouldn't do your job.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. You know, it's just not for me. And that's not mean I wish ill of those people, the children, but it's just not for me in that respect.
Of course not. It's a very hard job. I have a niece who's autistic, and it's hands-on and it's very hard, and she's non-verbal, and she can communicate through her eyes and her actions and our heart. We communicate, but when she's upset and you don't know what's wrong with them, it kills you inside. Like it is a hard job, and it is not for everyone. I can agree with that. And it's stressful. There's been times when I'm like, oh my god, please, like, but it's just, you have to just learn through it. You've got to keep going.
Yeah, I understand. So, sorry, my mind just, I was blank, I was thinking about something. So, tell me something, what's the impact you want to have on the world? What one can do,
I don't know, I want to travel and see everyone, and not every single human. I just want to meet as many people and hear everyone's story. And you know, I don't care about the money. I don't care if I'm rich or poor and I'm old. Of course, everyone wants to be rich and old. Everyone wants a bit of money, but it don't faze me. It don't make me like, I'm not like, oh, if I can do that for £1 million, I'll go do that right now. If that thing's not for me, I'm not doing it. Like, I'd rather struggle and get rich, or meet loads of people, hear everyone's story and stuff, and stay poor, because that's me. Like,
I think from my question that I asked, the main feedback, I think people just want to be comfortable and happy.
Yeah.
And more happy than comfortable.
As long as my family and I'm safe, and people I know and friends I love are safe, then I'm happy. From within and from out. You said you did a bit of acting for...
Yeah, it wasn't acting, it was more of it was a live show, the one show. It was back in January. It's because I was on a ADHD cooking school documentary with Chili con Carne. And yeah, so the one show kind of like had us featured on it, and there's a documentary coming out for the Chili con Carne. Should be coming out like next year. But
and you were doing what exactly?
Just giving them a little speak about like how it's changed us, or like how it's helped us and that. And I was just saying, like, it gave me loads of confidence, and it did give me the confidence to go to Spain and do what I did in Spain.
Yeah, I hear you. That's good. That's good. Okay. Well, thanks a lot for that interview.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
And we wish you well.
And you too. Thank you.
We hope you liked that episode. Keeping in mind, we never know who we're going to interview. We post twice a day, 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. GMT. Have you ever considered the future economies to invest in? Why not listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories? Considering Africa has the fastest growing economies and population on Earth, and has done for many years, it holds 30% of the world's known natural resources. We publish twice a week, Tuesday with a guest investor, and Fridays talking about investment, politics and history, providing a clear understanding for any potential investor.